What is up, everybody? Welcome to the Bert MMA Q&A live stream. It is going to be a new podcast that we are doing on the channel. So if you want to see some of the topics that we are watching, if you are watching the live stream, after the live stream is over, we have those timestamps in the description below. So go check those out and check out the topics in today's live stream. So right now, we're literally just going to set it up really quick and get the thumbnail in and kind of get the stream all rolling. But we do have the thumbnails for pretty much everything we will be talking about in this live stream down in the comment section below. So feel free to go down there and check out those timestamps. Let's just put the thumbnail in really quick. Boom. Bing. And we should be good. Alrighty then. Let's refresh. And we should be live. Alrighty then. We're live. What is up, everybody? Alright. Let's get into the live stream so we can answer a couple of questions that we do get every now and then, in case we get any, you know. Yeah, what is up, everybody? We got the Bert MMA Q&A podcast episode 1 premiering right now on January 30th of 2022. It's going to be a good one. Any questions you guys have in the comment section, just put them down below. It's an MMA Q&A for a reason. Whatever questions you have, we will be answering. What is up, Oliver Goverick? What is up, Jabba OV Productions, as well as Edward Michaj, if I'm saying that last name correctly. But what is up, everybody? We're going to go in the first topic right here from Alex McDonald. Where would Askarov, Mousasi, Nemkov, and Bader be in the UFC? He clarified, instead of Askarov, it's going to be Amosov. So where would Amosov be? Where would Mousasi be? Nemkov and Bader be ranked inside of the UFC? So if you look right now to the Bellator rankings, right here we do have Yaroslav Amosov, 26 wins and 0 losses in the welterweight division over there in Bellator. If he was in the UFC welterweight division, I think for sure he would be in the top 10. He beat Neil Magny, Wonderboy Thompson, Michael Chiesa, all of those type of guys. I would say probably around, honestly, I'm going to go number 3. I think he beats pretty much everyone but Gilbert Burns, Colby Covington, Kamaru Usman, and Leon Edwards. I believe Leon would be able to defend the takedowns, I would say, and he's got much better striking. And all of these guys definitely would be able to defend the takedown, keep the fight on the feet, and win in a striking fight because they're mainly grapplers and wrestlers. Also, Hamza would be above them as well. So I would have Yaroslav Amosov at like number 3 or number 4 if he were to go into the UFC. The next guy is going to be Gegard Mousasi, who right now is doing absolutely amazing in the middleweight division, beating John Salter, and just so many other guys. He's about to fight Austin Vanderford, an undefeated 11-0 prospect over there in Bellator. But I'm definitely going to go, I would say Gegard Mousasi would win over Austin Vanderford. And if he was in the UFC middleweight division, I would have to go number 4. I'll go number 3. I think he beats Jerry Cannonier, but I think like guys like Marvin Vettori, Robert Whittaker, Israel Adesanya, I think those are the 3 big guys that would definitely beat Gegard Mousasi. So I would have Gegard Mousasi at number 4 in the UFC middleweight division. Nemkov right there. That's a really, really solid fighter. The light heavyweight champion, 15 wins and 2 losses. Let's see right here. So right now, I don't think he beats Ankalaev. I don't think he beats Rakic is a tough one. Rakic would be close. I would say probably around number 5. I think he beats pretty much everyone but Ankalaev and these 3 guys right here and Glover this year. So Glover, Jan, Yuri, Rakic, and Ankalaev, I think they're all going to be better than Vadim Nemkov, but Vadim would be a top 5 fighter in the light heavyweight division. Ryan Bader, the last guy, that's a tough one because he's not the biggest heavyweight fighter. He came out, 234 pounds, a very small guy in the Bellator heavyweight division. So I would say Ngannou beats him, Gane beats him, Stipe definitely beats him, Derek Lewis beats him, Curtis Blaze definitely beats him, Volkov. I'll go Volkov to beat him. I think Bader would beat Rosenstrike just because of the wrestling. I think that's a tough one. I think Chris Dawkins would win. I think he beats Shamil. I think he beats Marcin. I think Tom Aspinall beats him. So I would say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people above him, so he would be right around number 9 or number 8 on the UFC rankings, but still in the top 10 of the UFC heavyweight rankings. So that's where I'd have Bader, just right inside the top 10. So that's where I have Amosov, Mousasi, Nemkov, and Bader ranked in the UFC. Let's go on to some more comments. You gonna compete in the UFC? That's the plan. I definitely hope so. What do you think can win Strickland by decision? That's an interesting wording on the question right there, but who do you think wins in the Strickland fight? I definitely have Strickland winning the fight, and I definitely think it'll be a decision. Jack Hermansson, if I'm remembering, he has a couple of knockout losses to Juri Cannonier. That's the most recent knockout loss that he does have. Thiago Santos, he got submitted by Cesar Ferreira. They got submitted by Jason Butcher, but the only time he's been knocked out were by guys that are a lot bigger and a lot more powerful than Sean Strickland. Thiago Santos, he's got some very crazy athleticism and power. Jiri Cannonier just got a lot more power than Sean Strickland. Those are the only two guys really able to go out there and finish. Jack Hermansson, Sean Strickland isn't really the finishing type. Decision was over Uriah Hall, Krzysztof Jotko, Jack Marshman, Court McGee, Tom Breese, only knocking out Alex Garcia, who, if I'm remembering, is on a crazy losing streak in the UFC and out of the UFC. So that's one of the knockout wins. Another one being against Brendan Allen, who we just saw doesn't really have the best chin either, losing to Chris Curtis also by knockout. So I don't know. I don't think Sean Strickland has enough power to really go out there and knock him out. And Jack Hermansson hasn't really shown to be the weak chin type of guy in the middleweight division. So for sure, Sean Strickland should definitely win here by a decision. How do you feel about this parlay? Davis, Almeida, Rakhmonov, and Brunson. Brunson's odds are very, very interesting. I do believe that one's more of a 50-50 fight. After watching the Darren Till fight, I had Derek Brunson winning there, but the blonde Derek Brunson right now, he is a crazy underdog, not to be messed with. So anytime you see that Derek Brunson is a crazy underdog, like he is right here, plus 165 on one bookie, you might want to do a slight dog bet there. But you said Brunson, Rakhmonov, I really, really hyped on Rakhmonov. Almeida, very, very confident on him. Davis, let's see, where is Davis at? What are his odds as of right now? I'm not seeing Davis on here. Which Davis? There's a lot of Davises in the UFC, to be quite honest with you. Damn, I'm not seeing any Davises on here. I don't know, man. I don't see any Davis. Gordon, Alvey, Soliarenko, Marquez, Alvey, Hawes, Barrios. I don't see any Davises, man. I don't know who you're talking about in Davis. Yeah, I'm really not too sure. But yeah, I think Brunson's a good dog bet. Rakhmonov and Almeida, my two most confident picks of the card. So I'm not too sure who the Davis is, but yeah, you think Vyacheslav Borshchev is a good enough prospect to put stock in? Very, very interesting question. To put stock in. That's some weird phrasing. So are you saying that you're going to put stock in him as you're going to put stock in Tesla, or as you're going to put money into investments and things like that? Because if you're thinking in that sense, I don't know if there's a market out there for UFC fighters to be investing on them. But if there is, I definitely think, because his next fight, who is he fighting next? I think his last fight was against Dakota Bush. Obviously, he got the knockout win in that one. Oh, yeah, doing the plank there. But he just got another fight that was announced that I'm definitely thinking he's going to win that one as well. It was against Marc Diakiese. So I do believe, yeah, if there's some sort of stock out there for Vyacheslav Slava Borshchev, yeah, I would say this is the perfect time, because right now in the UFC lightweight division, he's going to go on a tear. I know the UFC is not going to be putting him against wrestlers and grapplers. They're going to keep on putting him against guys they have a couple of takedowns here and there, decent wrestling, decent grappling, but that Slava will be able to outstrike and mostly knock him out. So, yeah, if there's some stock out there for Slava, I think the UFC is really putting their stock in him, putting him against a lot of strikers that don't have the best wrestling. They really push him in the UFC lightweight division. Slava, do I think he's going to be a ranked guy? Do I think he's going to be a future champion, top 5, top 10, anything like that? No, I do not. I think he's got very, very good kickboxing, but he got taken down by Dakota Bush, who's really not, I wouldn't say UFC caliber in my opinion, and it's just not the best wrestler and grappler. So once he faces the top 15 of this division, Arman, Mateusz, Gamrot, Gregor, Gillespie, let's see, Islam Makhachev, Benil Dariush, Charles Oliveira, literally any of those guys that would easily take down Slava and submit him. So I would put stock in him now, but I would sell it right before he gets to that push to the top 15. Because as soon as he gets that fight in the top 15, there's way too many grapplers over there. He would get absolutely destroyed. But let's see. I want to see you on the Ultimate Fighter. Why not? Let's do it. Dana, are you listening? Put me on the Ultimate Fighter. You better do it, Dana. The Bert Q&A, of course. You are at a ripe age to develop your skills for the UFC. Right now, I'm doing wrestling for high school, so I believe I have my regional tournament in about 1.5 weeks, something like that. Then the state championships in about 3 weeks. So hopefully we do good in that, but my wrestling is definitely getting a lot better. Jiu-Jitsu is getting a lot better, and I'm definitely going to start training a lot more at Camp Lejeune with an Olympic boxing coach, so that one should be pretty good as well. So we're definitely going to try getting in the UFC, and we're trying to push this channel as well. If I can get to the UFC and keep up with the channel at the same time, that'd be absolutely insane. Like stock and just slang for betting and being confident. Okay, for some reason I thought, there's all the NFTs, crypto, and all that type of stuff. I literally, for some reason, thought maybe there's some company out there that's like $5 for Muslim Salikov stock, $10 for Jan Blachowicz stock or something. I thought there was something crazy like that, but who knows? That could be a future thing to happen where we have stock in UFC fighters. You never know. He's fighting Marc Diakiese. Yes, he is. Hey man, can you give us a quick review of whatever you use to bet money into MMA? Is it legit and can you pull your money out? I use DraftKings, FanDuel, and then BetOnline. All of them you are able to pull your money out. It's not like one of those where you have to wait till you have, because I've done some of them. I had like $100 or $200 in mybookie.ag. That's the one that the Weasel promotes. Would not recommend doing them, because if you use one of those websites like MyBookie, I'm not gonna go into the website right now, but if anyone like is out there signing up for an actual bookie, do not use MyBookie. You have to do like a whole rollover process. If you have $100 betting and you turn it into $200, you're not able to pull the money out until you make like $1,000 betting in there. And until that point, you're probably gonna lose the money because you're trying to bet big so you can make that 1,000. That's how those type of bookies get you. But with DraftKings, FanDuel, and BetOnline, DraftKings and BetOnline as the main ones, they're not the type of bookies to like put thresholds on how much money you need to make on their bookie until you can withdraw. You can literally withdraw at any time on those bookies. But let's see. What's the, oh, I messed up on the thing. Dawodu, Strickland, Bonder, Rakhmonov, easy parlay. Dawodu, I don't know. Mike Trizano has been a notorious underdog. I mean, he's pretty good in that role, just beating Ludwig Klein, and then I'm not too sure who he beat before that. I'm trying to remember about that one, but I don't know if I would put Dawodu in a parlay just because He is coming off a loss, and Mike Trizano is on a pretty good streak right now, beating a lot of solid guys, beating Eddie, that's not the right guy, that is John Castaneda, but Mike Trizano right here beating Ludwig Klein, beating Luis Pena, Joe Giannetti, John Gunther, Ty Clark, and so many other guys. He only lost to a grappler in Grant Dawson. Hakeem Dawodu and Mike Trizano only lose to wrestlers and grapplers, so it could be one of those very close decisions that slightly edges out to Mike Trizano. That's why I personally would not parlay Hakeem Dawodu. I do think he's going to win, of course, but I don't think I'm going to parlay him. A1 games that never pull out. I got VH Tesla, Borshchev, but Marc Diakiese is not to be overlooked, but he's on a really, really big downturn right now. Let's just put in Slava right here, because Marc Diakiese, what is he on, a 3-4 fight losing streak right now? It's absolutely insane. But let's see. Marc Diakiese, 14 wins and 5 losses. Yeah, Rafael Fiziev, that's a very, very legit guy right there. Lost by unanimous decision. Nasser Hakbara, solid guy. Dan Hooker, solid guy. Jacker Closey, solid guy. He's losing a very, very solid guys in the UFC lightweight division, beating some solid guys as well. But still, I think Vyacheslav should have no problem getting the knockout or a 30-27 decision there. Gillespie versus the Gamrot. Make it happen. That's a good fight. That is a very, very good fight. But Gregor, as we know, if you look at any of his Instagram, Twitters, YouTube, whatever the case may be, for Gregor Gillespie, everything he is saying is pointing towards he wants to fight Conor McGregor, he wants to fight Tony Ferguson, he wants to fight Michael Chandler, he wants to fight Rafael dos Anjos, he wants to fight literally everyone ranked above him. There's no reason right now that Gregor should be going down in the rankings, although, yeah, we want to see Gamrot get pushed up the UFC lightweight division, but Gregor is set in stone that he wants to go up the rankings. He said, there's no way I'm going down on those UFC lightweight division rankings, but I see what you mean. A fight with Gamrot and Gregor Gillespie, it'd be absolutely amazing because both Gamrot and Gillespie are coming off wins over Diego Ferreira. Gamrot looks more impressive beating Diego Ferreira as well, so that could be a good fight. The winner of that one maybe gets, I don't know, the loser of Islam Makhachev versus Rafael dos Anjos, but there's plenty of things you can do there. If that fight were to happen, I would definitely go for Mateusz Gamrot to win. I do believe Mateusz's wrestling and grappling is slightly better, and then the striking is going to be very 50-50, but yeah, I would go Gamrot to win that one. Alexis Davis, oh my god, dude, that's the name you're talking about, Alexis Davis. Okay, yeah, Alexis Davis, I'm very confident in her. She's only losing a very legit girls, top 15 fighters in the UFC bantamweight division, and Julia has shown really nothing inside the UFC. 0 wins, 2 losses or something. She's doing absolutely horrible. So, yeah, I'm pretty confident on Alexis Davis as well. I'm excited for every prelims now. Yeah, the prelims have been doing pretty good so far in 2022 so far. But, yeah, so far, Malcolm Gordon, Dennis Bonder, I wouldn't say he's going to be a really good fighter or anything, but Dennis is a very good prospect to be looking out for. Almeida's an amazing prospect as well. That'll be a good fight. Expect fireworks 100%. Philip Rowe, Jason Witt, definitely expect fireworks. Chidi and Jaquani, Marc-Andre Barriot, expect fireworks. Mike Trizano, Hakeem Dawodu, expect a really good striking 3-round fight. John Castaneda, Miles Johns, really technical striking there. Steven Peterson, Julian Erosa, I mean, all of these fights here on the prelims, I'm definitely down to watch. I love the prelims here in 2022. Before this card last week, let's see, what was last week? UFC 270 Ngannou versus Gane. The prelims were very solid. We saw Jasmine go in on her UFC debut, look really good. Crazy back and forth in only 2 minutes, 25 seconds. So Vanna getting the knockdown, then Vanessa getting the submission. Matt Ravola landing 4 knockouts and then getting that one gravely, out wrestling to a decision. But Jack Della Maddalena going crazy, getting the knockout. Banger fight between Hayoni and Victor. I mean, even those prelims were absolutely amazing. So all of the prelims here in 2022 have looked amazing. So even this one right here, actually, this would probably be the worst prelims. There was only 4 fights. Not the best middleweight fight there. Not the best welterweight fight there. Although there's really a high-level grappling shown. Not the best fight, but in the past 2, I mean, UFC 270 and Hermansson Strickland, we're going to see some very exciting fights, 100%. Let us see. Herb Dean is the golden standard. Why can't you pull money out? How am I going to use it to buy stuff? Yeah, of course, you got to pull your money out as sometimes. I tend to have about $2,000 on all of my bookies, and then I just put $50 on most of my bets. That's about 1 unit for mine, but there actually is, you can bet unique fighters. Interesting. Very interesting. I mean, NFTs basically are putting stock on people. That is true. I've been wondering, what if, you never know. I'm a YouTuber here. We can make a project. I don't really know too much about the NFT space, but you never know. What if we take a picture of every single UFC fighter, put them all for $10 each, and just see how much money they sell for? you never know, guys. You never do know. How do you feel about the MMA Investing Club? I heard good things, but I'm sure you're more educated on it, and I'm wondering what you think about joining it. I've never heard about the MMA Investing Club, honestly. You'd be a good MMA commentator. That's the goal. So, YouTube channel, obviously, right now is what we're doing. We're doing MMA predictions. We got the second channel doing MMA news. I'm definitely training right now in boxing, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. I want to join the UFC. I want to go onto the Ultimate Fighter, Dana White's Contender Series, something like that to get me in the UFC. I'm not going to be one of those guys looking for the championship. I'm looking to put on the best fights no matter what. I mean, I don't care if I'm in Bellator, UFC, whatever the case may be, wherever I am fighting in, whatever promotion. I'm not looking to become the best in the world. I am looking to put on a show for the fans. I'm going to be like Justin Gaethje, but a lot worse than Justin Gaethje. But yeah, I want to put on an exciting MMA career, retire at about 34, 35 years old. Once my brain starts acting up a little bit, then I will become an MMA commentator, maybe for Contender Series, maybe for Bellator, maybe for one championship, maybe even for Eagle FC or something like that. But yeah, that's what I would be looking for. Faxi would rank Cruz, DC, Rogan, Bisping, Felder's optional as commenters in your opinion. In order, I would go first. I would add Felder, to be honest. Second, I would go Joe Rogan. Third, I'm gonna go Dominic Cruz. Four, I'm gonna go Bisping, and number 5, I'm gonna go Daniel DC Cormier. How did Mamedov and Moldovsky both lose? Oh, that was a heartbreaker, man. Very, very close decision, to be honest with you. Honestly, could have gone either way. But yeah, they weren't active enough. That's the main thing with both of those fights. They were not active enough. Whether it was from the wrestling, whether it was from the ground and pound, the striking, they just did not land enough shots. There was times where they're just holding and they're not landing the shots. They need to be landing shots. If there's 1 minute, 2 minutes left on the clock, you need to go ham and just go absolutely crazy with shots. Don't even worry about your well-being. Eat the shots, come forward, and make the judges think you are winning the fight. They weren't putting it on the table. They were just kind of looking to eke a decision out there, and they didn't really put it out there. Oh yeah, that's pretty much the reason there. But let's see. Who do you think gives Izzy a harder fight, Brunson or Cannonier? That's an interesting one. That one's going to be happening at UFC 271. I would say I'm going to go Derek Brunson because obviously Jerry Cannonier is a striker. If Israel Adesanya gets past Robert Whittaker, he's already gotten past Paulo Costa, Martin Vettori, Derek Brunson, all of those guys before. He already knows he can beat these guys in the striking. Jared Cannonier is not going to take him down. He's not going to wrestle. He's not going to grapple. The only guy that I think really has the chance to go out there and beat Adesanya is Whittaker if he wrestles and goes to the body with a lot of body kicks and front kicks and head kicks and things like that, or Brunson going out there and wrestling. So I would say Brunson would give the harder shot. But out of everyone in the UFC, of course, Robert gives the hardest shot because his striking is the closest similarity to Israel Adesanya. And he does have some pretty decent wrestling to fall back on as well. But I would say Derek Brunson. And the NFTs are the future. Good luck. I'm voting for you. Does laying on somebody doing nothing but keeping them on the ground but not landing strikes or going for submission count as effective grappling or control time? Gane was robbed. He won 1, 2, and 5. I don't know, because, yeah, can you say that Ciryl Gane was even close to landing that submission? He wasn't really. I mean, if you look at that fight closely, that heel hook that he had, the little, the knee bars that he had on Francis Ngannou, they weren't doing anything. You have to do damage in those situations or be close to a submission. You can be, like, very, very close to a rear naked, and if the striking is absolutely 50-50, the person actually close to getting the finish and getting that submission will win. But was Ciryl Gane close to getting the submission? I don't think so. I'm gonna say he was not close to getting that submission. And striking up to that point in that 5th round, there really wasn't any striking. Ciryl landed the takedown, and then Ngannou controlled the rest of the fight. So I think it was the right decision. Ngannou should have won the fight. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Gane was robbed. He won 1, 2, and 5. I don't think so. I think Ngannou won because he was not close to losing that submission in that fight. Hello, how win Hawes? I don't know what that question is right there. Hello, how win Hawes? But I guess he's asking about Phil Hawes or something. I'm not too sure. But yeah, I do have Phil Hawes winning that fight. If that is your question that you are answering or asking, MMA Investing Club is a club of professionals who tell you who to bet on. They got like 200 bets right and only like 7 wrong. I don't know. I have no knowledge about that. We don't know for sure if they're actually correct about that. We don't know if they're just going out there. Like, if we go on a best fight odds right now, we don't know if they're just doing like this bet right here, fight is not a draw, and they're just putting that bet 200 times. We have no idea how they're coming up with those numbers right there. But personally, I don't know anything about them. I can't really make a comment, but yeah, I really don't know, to be quite honest with you. Let's see. What is up? Herb Dean is the golden standard. I love you for putting DC and Bisping last. Listing those two really annoy me more than Felder, Rogan, or Cruz. Do you think Dom and Sean's criticism on DC is deserved, or were they both overrating on how bad his commentary is? I'm not too sure. I don't have too much knowledge on that situation either. Holy, you are live. Yes, I am. XV, haven't seen you on the live stream, but indeed, we are live in the UFC welterweight division. I'm just gonna say that for why not? Why not? Thanks, bro. I appreciate it because I have a couple of questions. Put them down below. We are literally answering every single question that gets put in the comment section below. So anything you have from Bellator to LFA to UFC Fight Night, Hermansson versus Strickland, even if it's like crazy questions, like a Kamaru Usman versus, I don't know, Hamza Chimaev prediction, if it has to do with Hasbulla, I really don't care what your question is. Put it in the comment section and we will answer it. And this is the first episode of the Bert MMA Q&A podcast, episode 1, and we're gonna do this every single week, every single Sunday, and we'll see where it goes. Yes, Philip Hawes versus Sam Alvey. Who will win and how? Please, he put that twice. Phil Hawes versus Sam Alvey. It's one of those fights where I'm gonna go Phil Hawes. He's the faster striker. He's the more powerful striker. He is the more technical striker. He's got better boxing. He's got better kickboxing. He's got better wrestling. Everywhere you look at the fight, Phil Hawes is gonna be the better fighter. He's younger. He's a little bit lengthier in terms of reach right there. Everywhere you look at it, he is the better fighter. But he's coming off a knockout loss. He was just as big of a favorite over Chris Curtis in the last fight. You look at the betting odds, minus 310 to plus 250, and he still ended up losing the fight by knockout. So I'm not one of the fights I'm going to be 1,000% confident on Phil Hawes winning, because Sam Alvey, if he wants to win, literally just needs to start throwing because of how bad of a chin that Phil Hawes does have. So I would not be surprised if Sam Alvey goes out there and gets the knockout, but yeah, Phil Hawes is going to play it safe. He's going to keep that high guard up, and he's going to wrestle and grapple, most likely, and get a TKO win in the second round. So that's my prediction. Phil Hawes by a TKO. Let's see. Sean was mad at DC was saying he was tired of looking at the clock, and Dom was mad DC don't come with facts when he commentates. What is up, Troy MMA? Do you think Izzy will beat Robert? I already put money on Izzy, but I still want to be sure. I do believe that he will beat Robert Whittaker, but is it a fight that is he worthy of the betting odds? I don't think so. Right now he's at minus 275. That's a little steep. Minus 240 is the best odds you're gonna get. Still a little bit too steep. I would say minus 200 would be right around where he should be. Right, minus 210, minus 215. Right, that's the kind of the area where I would say Israel Adesanya should be on the betting odds. He's a little bit too heavily favored in my opinion. But yeah, I'm definitely gonna go Israel Adesanya. It's a win. He's the best striker the UFC middleweight division has ever seen. Anderson Silva is close behind him, but he was in a different era. Different striking abilities in that era compared to this one. Definitely have Israel Adesanya winning, but if we see Whittaker go out there in the first round and even land one takedown on Israel Adesanya, make sure to go live bet Robert Whittaker right then and there. As soon as he gets a takedown on Adesanya, put loads of money on Robert Whittaker, because that is the only thing really kind of distinguishing who's going to win here is, of course, going to be Robert is a good striker. He could land a lot of body kicks and possibly outstrike Israel Adesanya, but most likely that's not going to happen. But if we see him landing heavy body kicks throughout the fight and land a few takedowns there, I think Robert will win. But, of course, my overall prediction is going to be Israel Adesanya to win. There's a possibility Whittaker could wrestle for that win, but, yeah, most likely, definitely Israel Adesanya wins. Would not put money on it, though. I definitely would not. Gane is so stupid for doing that submission. Yeah, that caused him the fight right there. He lost position because of that submission attempt. Francis stayed on top the whole entire round. Yeah, so if there's anything you can learn from any sort of fighting is Ciryl Gane. 2 rounds to 2 rounds. 50-50 fight. It was the 5th and final round. He lands a takedown. Why are you going for a submission? You had a chance to go for the submission maybe in the last 2 rounds or things like that when Ngannou was on top. The 4th and 3rd round, you could have kind of played with Ngannou, went for a few submissions, went for a few knee bars, heel hooks, arm bars, things like that. In the 3rd and 4th round. But once it's that 5th and final round, you know the scorecards say 2 rounds to 2 rounds. There is zero chance I am putting myself on the back and I'm going to sit there and go for a submission. There's no way. I don't care if the fans are booing. At that point, it is a championship fight. All you gotta do is stay on top of Ngannou, land a few ground pound shots, and eventually, if you see there's like 1 or 2 minutes left on the clock, and you see Ngannou might be able to get up, let him up. Just let him up at that point. You've done enough control time, ground pound for that entire round, and all you have to do is stay at range, stay out of Ngannou's way for the last 2 minutes, and you become the UFC heavyweight champion, the baddest man on the planet. But no, you go for a submission and you lose the fight. Any UFC fighters out there can learn from this. If you are winning, even if the score is tied or anything like that, and you land a takedown in the final round, control, ground pound. As soon as you see them get in the fight, back up on the feet, let them get back up on the feet. Stay at range and keep the striking as even as you can possibly keep it. Play defensive striking, and that grappling and wrestling that you showed at the beginning will give you that decision win. Do not go for a submission in the 5th round. You have all of the earlier rounds to go for the finish. No chance you're going to go for a finish in the 5th round unless you are down. If you are up, if you are winning the fight, do not go for a submission or a finish in the 5th and final round. There's no reason to do that. So yeah, Ciryl Gane, he's ruined himself in that 5th and final round. He would be champion had he not pulled back for a heel hook. That's crazy, man. If you could meet one UFC fighter today and pick their brain, who would it be? Same question 5 years from now. I would say Alexander Volkanovski. I want to learn how he trains, how hard he trains, how much he trains, what he trains, everything. I want to learn everything from Volkanovski, because that is the style I want to most replicate in my MMA career. Also, I'm thinking about doing a parlay with Lewis and Adesanya. Is that good? Lewis, don't parlay him. I'm going to say that right now. Do not parlay Lewis, man. The odds, not good. It's the heavyweight division. I think Lewis wins. I think Israel Adesanya wins. But both of them together is about pretty much even money odds. Do not do that. Let's see. Who would you have between Sean O'Malley and Conor McGregor at 145 pounds? I would go Conor McGregor. He's just way bigger than Sean O'Malley. But yeah, I would go Conor McGregor for sure. Size plays such a huge factor. Obviously right now in their respective careers, pound for pound, I would say, as of right now, Sean O'Malley might be the better fighter because their grappling and wrestling really isn't that much there. And the striking, the prime, the speed, the power, and all that stuff does go Sean. But even if it is in the featherweight division, Conor has to cut down. He's going to bulk up to be an absolutely humongous guy after that. So yeah, size is going to play huge factor in that one. So definitely go Conor McGregor. Let's see after that one. Can you tell us one of your bets? Sorry, no can do. We have the channel memberships on the channel. If you want to check those ones out, I'm gonna put it in the comment section right now. But if any of you guys out there are wondering all of the bets that I personally make for UFC, for Bellator, for PFL, things of that nature, we're only going to put out the plug once on this live stream. That will be right now. We put out all the bets for only 10 cents a day. UFC Bellator. We just put our bets for UFC Fight Night, Hermansson versus Strickland. So if you want to check those ones out, it's only 10 cents a day. Let's see after that one. Sam Alvey ain't no Chris Curtis. Yeah, he's not a Chris Curtis, obviously, but you never know with the chin of Phil Hawes. You never know. Hawes by points. Izzy is due for a loss. He definitely could be. We saw Jan Blachowicz go out there, use his size, use his wrestling, and win the fight by a decision. Could that happen again? Definitely possible. What does Whittaker do if he loses this fight? Such an awkward position because he already cleared out the division. He clears it again. If Robert Whittaker goes out there and loses again, he's got to fight Sean Strickland. I would say put him against Sean Strickland, then put him against Nasruddin Imavov, and then put him against Andre Muniz or someone. If he beats all three of those guys, give him another title shot. But yeah, he's gonna clear the division once again if he does lose the fight. That's what I would say. But yeah, I would probably not do that. I got Adesanya at minus 133 because I had better boost, so I'm good. Yeah, minus 133, of course. I would have taken that if I were you as well. Sean Strickland versus Jack Hermansson. Who wins and how? I think Sean by a decision. Who do you think? I also have Sean by a decision. Hermansson does not get finished that much, and if he does get finished, it's by very, very good power punchers and by guys that are a lot bigger than him, like Jared Cannonier as well as Thiago Santos. So decision win, I agree with you. Whittaker rear naked choke. Interesting. Let's see. Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl bond coming from Lions fans. Happy for him. Did he win? Did the Rams actually just win that? There's no way. Let me check. Yeah, we got some UFC fights happening. Or NFL scores. Let me check right here. Did they actually win? Wow, 20-17. The Rams have won. Very, very interesting. Let's see. Benson Henderson won me. Oh my God, $1,500. Yeah, Benson, heavy underdog. I mean, I was honestly considering putting money on Henderson by a decision. Let's see, Benson, I mean, I think it was like plus 1,000 on some of the bookies for Benson Henderson to win the fight by a decision. It was absolutely insane. Thinking back on it, I should have done it. I definitely should have done it. Look at that, plus 1,100 for Henderson decision. I am regretting that one. I'm regretting not doing that so much right now. I predict Whittaker Adesanya will be a close, and judges will give it to Israel when I have it scored for Whittaker, and I will take my drunken rage out on my bedroom door, creating yet another hole. That's a funny one. Ground and pound, no submissions. Who do you have with Cyril Gane versus Francis Ngannou? That fight already happened, so I had my prediction for the fight was Cyril Gane, a 49-46 decision, but yeah, he kind of blew it in that fifth and final round. I did not expect Ngannou to go out there and wrestle. O'Malley has brittle bones. Power to Sean. Sean hits hard AF, yeah, for the bantamweight division, but again, if he goes to featherweight, fights Conor, who is a welterweight and who is currently a middleweight. Yeah, I'm going to go Conor to win there. How much did you make from UFC 270? I believe it was like 6 or 7 units. Let's go onto the doc. I put all my stuff on the Google Doc to remember all the bets that I did make. Let us see. How much did I make on the card? We made 7.91 units on the card. So that would be around $400, like $390, somewhere in that range. So we made about $400 on UFC 270, which was not too bad. And the speed behind his strikes makes it worse. And with Sean's feints, he will hit your chin clean when he distances you with something else. Vettori versus Whittaker when Whittaker loses. Yeah, that'd be a good fight. Vettori, has Vettori fought since the loss to Adesanya? I don't think so. But yeah, Vettori versus Whittaker would be a good fight. If Vettori wins, maybe you give him Sean Strickland. And if Vettori wins, then give him another title shot. If Vettori wins, kind of puts him in a weird predicament. But yeah, that'd be a good fight. I would definitely go Whittaker to win, though. Let's see. What was the next question? This dude is spamming Sean Strickland versus Jack Hermansson prediction. I got Sean Strickland by decision, bro. Do you use DraftKings to bet? I use DraftKings, Bet Online, as well as FanDuel. I use FanDuel every now and then. They have a couple good props. On every now and then they have a couple good props. But usually I use Bet Online because they got the early betting odds. You look way down here. Sometimes you got Aljamain Sterling, Jorge Masvidal, Greg Hardy, and things like that. These three bookies, DraftKings, FanDuel, and Bet Online, they get the betting odds out to you very early. I mean, Magomed Ankalaev, Thiago Santos, FanDuel is the only one that has betting odds. Volkov, Arsenal, they're the only ones that have betting odds. Paddy Pimblett, Arnold Allen, all of these fights, they're like the only bookie that have betting odds, as well as DraftKings and Bet Online. But I use Bet Online, DraftKings for my parlays and props, FanDuel for a couple of props here and there, and for the early bets on some of these, some of the fights that are happening like a few months from now. But yeah, I use three different bookies. I have a few thousand in all three. Let's see. I hit Benson Henderson live round 2 for oh my god, plus 2,200 via points. Amazing. Oh my god, that is absolutely amazing right there. There's no reason he should be a plus 2,200 favor, so the fact that you capitalize on that crazy odds, absolutely amazing. Do you think Nick Maximov and Punahele Soriano goes past the first round? I do. I do believe so. I'm very skeptical on if it'll go to a decision, because I have Punahele winning by knockout, but I find it very hard to predict that it might go to a decision, because it definitely might. Nick could eat a few shots and just go for a takedown. So I think it goes past the first round. Do I think it goes past the second round? No, I don't. I think in that time period, there's going to be some sort of shot that Punahele lands to get the knockout. So first round, I would have to say yes, just because there's going to be that feeling out process in the first 1 minute and 2 minutes, and we're going to see a lot of clinching from Nick Maximov. So I think he survives the first, and in that second round, that's where Punahele is going to find his range, be able to defend the takedowns, and knock out Nick Maximov. So I would say it will get past the first round. Vettori fought Costa. That's the fight I'm remembering. I forgot about that fight as a whole. I'm not too sure why, but yeah, Vettori beat Costa after losing to Israel Adesanya. So he's definitely deserving of a step up again. And Whittaker, if Whittaker loses, Marvin versus Whittaker, 5-round main event. Really good fight there. Time this guy for spamming. I'm not too sure how, man. He's putting Sean Strickland versus Jack Hermansson. Who will win and how? Like 1,000 times. It's absolutely insane. I'm gonna become a member to your channel. Thanks so much, man. It's only like 10 cents a day, but yeah, we put out all the bets. Like, I think we put it out earlier today. So it was about lunchtime, so about 11 or 12 o'clock, we put out a couple of our parlays, a few of our money line bets, and a few props. But again, we will have a lot more of the prop bets coming out in the next few days, because right now, there's not too many props to choose from, especially on my bookies right now. There's only the over 4.5 on these ones. There's not really too much to choose from, so once we get a little more variation on these prop bets, we will definitely be adding a lot more bets in the next few days. Just block him for now. I reported him too. I don't know why he keeps... Jonathan Almeida versus Danilo Marquez. What do you think? Thanks, bro. I got Jonathan Almeida by a submission. Let's see. I think Nick Diaz taught Nick Maximov how to literally quit after getting knocked down. So bet the house on Soriano. Yeah. What is Soriano by knockout? I don't think they have a knockout bet just yet. It's probably inside the distance. Yeah. Plus 130 on inside the distance. So there's got to be something a little bit better for a knockout prop. Maybe plus 150, plus 160, maybe even better. I mean, if it's like plus 200 or something crazy for Soriano by knockout, I mean, come on, man. I mean, Nick Maximov is training with guys that are coming off knockout losses. Nick Diaz, who was the other guy? It was some guy that lost to Matthew Semmelsberger. I'm forgetting the name. But yeah, he's with a lot of guys that have either been knocked out viciously or have kind of quit a little bit, like Nick Diaz. So yeah, definitely confident on him winning by knockout there. Jonathan Almeida. Yeah, I got Jonathan Almeida winning that fight, bro. How do you feel about Shavkat Rakhmonov, and does he get the finish this weekend? I do believe he gets the finish, and I do believe in this UFC welterweight division, he will be top 10 by the end of the year, possibly top 5. I mean, I think for sure top 10 in the UFC welterweight division, and maybe if he has like 3 or 4 fights in 2022, I will say top 5, as I do believe he beats Belal, Vicente, Leon Edwards, Jorge, Thompson, Magny, Brady. I think he literally beats everyone besides Hamza Chimaev and Kamaru Usman. I think he honestly beats Burns and Covington as well. So I think Shavkat by the end of the year will be at probably around top 5 of the UFC welterweight division, and he will be fighting for the title, in my opinion, June-ish, July-ish of 2023. In my opinion, I think he might be a future champion, but how old is he as well? I think he's only like 27 or 28 years old as well. So that's another thing writing for him. He is only 27 years old. Absolutely insane. Sano, Martin Sano. That's the guy I'm remembering. But yeah, he got destroyed in 30 seconds, 7 seconds. It was a very fast knockout for Matthew Semelsberger on that one. The odds are way off on Shavkat's fight, in my opinion. Adesanya, Derek Lewis, knockout parlay, lock. Yeah, there's no way Derek Lewis is getting a decision in that fight. They're going to throw, and one of those guys is getting knocked out. Yeah, Shavkat, his odds are very, very solid right now. What are they right now? Minus 220. Claps. That is absolutely amazing. I originally was not going to bet on him because he was like minus 275, even minus 280 at one point, but this is amazing. Minus 220, both on BetOnline as well as DraftKings. Come on, that is some amazing odds on Shavkat right there, for sure. Martin Sano, I remember dumping on Semelsberger at minus 450. Yeah, I didn't really care, but it was like minus 150. It was still favorite odds on Matthew Semelsberger by knockout. I don't care. I put like 3 or 4 units on that, like $200 on Semelsberger by knockout. It really don't matter. He got the knockout very easily. It was very expected that was going to happen. How easy would Chimaev take down Adesanya? If you were to bulk up to the middleweight division, fairly easily. I'm going to be honest with you. If he were to like actually commit to the middleweight division, get a little bit bigger, get his size, his mass, his strength, and things like that, I believe he beats Adesanya. Right now, Adesanya, how old is Adesanya? That's one question I do have, is how old is the UFC middleweight champion? Because right now, Hamza Chimaev, if he goes out there and becomes a welterweight champion, how much time is he going to have to go up to the UFC middleweight division and face Israel Adesanya? Israel is 32 years old. I don't know if he's going to retire anytime soon. He's probably got a good 3-4 more years till he retires, maybe even less than that, but I don't know. If he were to fight Adesanya in the next 2 to 3 years, I would actually go Hamza Chimaev to win that fight. Let's see, but that's pretty much it, bro. Last question, normal bet, Shavkat just to win, Strickland by decision, Hawes by knockout, Almeida by TKO, express bet. Why not put a little sprinkle on that one? I agree with all of that. I think they all win there. Izzy 32 or 33? Yeah, he's 32 years old, but yeah, thank you guys for watching the live stream. The Bert MMA Q&A podcast episode 1 has just concluded as we have just hit 10 p.m. right there. Thank you guys for all watching the live stream. It's been a really good one. We had a lot of very solid questions asked in the comment section as well on the UFC community post that I posted a little bit earlier. But thank you guys for watching. Make sure to hit the like button, subscribe, and do all of that one. And if you want to become a member, check down in the comment section below or check down in the live comment section. Thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you in the next live stream, which